Until that, don't accept. Just you ask question again, goes to different teachers. Okay, what they wanted to really hear. So then come to that, they happy. Otherwise, they don't want to change. In Tibet, they want, we say, like divination. So they ask different lamas, goes like what they want, they need that comes up. So until that, they ask again.
Huh.
So
Well,
then someone doesn't like mother. So then we recognize we did a mistake. So now we have to change. That's it.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
great way, great.
that's the answer
That's-
then. I don't know who
That's
asked it.
highest good way
No,
to
I ask it.
Oh,
yes.
I'm sorry.
Or you ask.
I ask it, Kimple, because so many people
Yeah.
I hear and around me and my children's friends that can't stand their mother, or they
Yeah.
don't feel anything for their mother.
Mm. So
So-
they can meditate this love for kindness for all the beings. Can try to do that. They can do that.
Yeah.
If they practice that, then they can change the mind. Then they can dealing with the mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. So means like of course like some kids are very hard to dealing with the mother because of the not kids problem, mothers have a problem. So that's why cannot dealing with that.
There are
So
crazy
they-
mothers.
Yeah. So still you can love your mother. Still you can love. No, you don't have to give up, and you can just much ever you can help that. You can help, right? For
Mhm.
mother. So what we have to meditators have to recognize. We have to recognize mother's kindness, even the mother has problems. Especially mother has problems, more compassion to the mother.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, more compassion to mother because recognize mother's kindness we receive, but then due to our mother have sick and problems, that is like go take into the compassion meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, this one is another option. If someone doesn't love mother and very hard to meditate with mother, so then they can use like example, wife can think about husband can think about wife. So then, or you can think about your kids, own children, or friends, like some loved ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So think about it, like example, used to like all sentient beings, like being wife, used to all sentient beings, like same as the father. So used to all beings, same as the kid. Like it's easy idea. And this is a put the mother is generally most people have connect with the mother, so that's why it's people easy to recognize mother's kindness.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
For me, it's very strange to hear someone not love the mother.
Yeah, many
Because-
people doesn't love mother. So the reason is the thing is the mother is crazy or something wrong. But that means they really didn't practice the compassion.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in the who practice this love meditation, who practice this compassion meditation, their mother has more problems. They really more compassion to the mother again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kimpo, can I ask you something?
Yes, please.
Could you at some moment teach us how to do the equalizing self and others? Like give some teachings on that?
Can you say again that?
If you could give some teachings and lead us through how to equalize self and others, that practice that Shantideva talks about.
You mean
Equalizing self and others?
economic meditation or?
No.
No.
No, it's equalizing self and others. When you work with pride, for example, and but you project that pride in another person, and then that person is looking at you, and then you work on loving kindness and developing bodhicitta.
Mm. So
I
you
don't
mean
know or not. Can somebody help me there?
the practice patient recognize someone like humming for us, we recognize that person is due to emotion. So
No, not really.
kind of more
You mean exchanging self for others?
Yes.
Tonglen.
Exchanging self for others.
Yeah.
That's what Shanti David calls it.
Tonglen, yeah.
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 Oh, that's it. Yeah.
how
Yeah.
to say
Exchanging self for others.
Not equalizing.
Oh,
The Tonglen.
Tonglen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonglen.
Tonglen meditation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to hear a little bit more Tonglen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. Tonglen is it's very great meditation, but it's really hard to do.
That's yeah. I know. That's why I'm asking you if you could teach on that. Like do I don't know 2 or 3 sessions or whatever.
So usually of course in the teachings talk about a lot about the Tonglen. We have to what we have to do is like kind of we daily life, and something we can practice ourselves something, because our ability. So I want to share our ability, what we can do. Think about that first.
Okay. Yeah.
So our ability is we can usually go everywhere, see so many people, see animals. We can see so many things every day. So low too, sometimes we see that some people has a difficulty and problems. Not only people and animals, anyone, so has difficulty, sufferings. And then that time, so just mindful, we needed to mindful awareness. And what we can do is we close eye and then bring all these beings suffering, taking, and like visualize, remove the suffering, and like taking in with the breath and then breathe out, sending kind of healings, compassion to that person, sending love to that person.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of, sometimes we can do that. It's an example, like you see the homeless person, and when you see that, you just mindful and inhale, taking the suffering, and exhale, giving some, love, and kind of sending like healings, and wishing them have happiness, wishing them free from suffering. So we can do that, and that actually helps mindful, and become like remind us, so we can see that kind of people suffering. When we see that, we use that often and often, then that helps actually growing our compassion. So that object really helps growing our compassion. But sometimes like meditate, people only meditation, that is hard. Why is it hard? Because no any object, right now I see it like this way, I see just trees, grass, like beautiful environment. So I close eye, taking all beings suffering in, and sending, my love, compassion to others, but no any kind of like object, not easy to do that way. And we see someone suffering, and just that time, breathe in, breathe, exhale, inhale, exhale, just, use this awareness with meditation. So that helps growing our compassion, really good for object of compassion. So we need something like growing our compassion, so that object really help for us. So that kind of we can do when long as we have a mindful, we have awareness. We always see people's difficulty, people we see suffering, we can see people are sick. Sometimes you drive on the road, you can see the accident. Yeah, so you drive on the road, you can see the ambulance goes, they carry the patients. and so you can see the and homeless people in the road. So you can see the sometimes like people anyway, like many kind of like animals hurt or anyone suffering. So that time just mindful and breathe in, taking their suffering, and then exhale, giving love and healing to them. So that's growing our compassion helps for us. So that's kind of we can do, I think. And if we go to Tonglen, rare Tonglen meditation practitioners use, so that I think need a little bit higher level to use that. Like example, Khenpo Minsa, he shared for Gachin Rinpoche. So taking other beings causes of suffering. Taking in means like lean is taking, compassion, taking all other beings causes of suffering. So what is the causes of suffering? Is grasping. Other beings grasping is taking in. So then bond in your navel level, you know, visualize the fire flame in there. And then when you send out love to, you know, heat kind of love sending to the other person. So that meditation is great, but I think it's a little bit higher level person. So I've heard like that. I don't know. It's a dependent person, you know. Someone does always a Tonglen meditation. Maybe they can do that. Yeah. That's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So Tonglen is like generally we need mindful awareness. Then when you go out, you see someone suffering. That time just like even couple minutes, you know, breathing and exhale, sending. So you know, helping for them. Okay, so then anyone has a question? Oh, but Amanda, do you have a question?
Yes, Khenpo, thank you.
Yes.
When you're with the Tonglen practice that you were just teaching, when you breathe out, you remember, is there a color to that, or the practice that Khenpo Minsel taught?
You mean there's color? Any color you mean?
There's a color when you're breathing out,
Oh.
love and compassion.
I think breathe that didn't I think know any specifically say color.
Okay.
So when you that meditation, Khenpo means giving Gachin Rinpoche in that time that Tonglen meditation, breathe in, taking other beings self-grasping. So when into your mood, like recognize like kind of like oil is pouring into your mouth, and then visualize the fire flame in the navel. So the oil is attached to the fire flame. So then become explosion, means like all beings self-grasping burned out. And then when you exhale, it's like see explosion is like kind of heat. So then you visualize love is sending for others, kind of heat, sending to others. So didn't say specifically colors. If you can do colors, nothing wrong, you know. Like when you send out like kind of, you know, heat color. I don't know heat, which kind of like not really fire sending to others, but just maybe. Yeah, it's don't just sending out. Maybe like that is. I don't know. So usually we visualize this like syllables like that is. same thing like that is. So that's also very similar Tonglen, actually, when we visualize syllable in the heart center, chant the mantra, like that is, the like that is send to, that like that is sending to other beings, purify their karma. So then, so that's also kind of a similar way. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. So then, how about the Sandra, your question? Think about.
I don't know if I have questions. I sometimes think that, I think a lot about what you said about Tibetan culture sort of protects people from trauma, maybe helps people recover from trauma more than we do generally in the West.
What is it, karma?
Trauma, like when something traumatic happens, emotionally, it's like a really big frightened response. It's hard to let go.
Yes.
So I was thinking a lot about that. And I don't know, there's a lot to say about that. That's an interesting topic, I think. And it kind of even reminds me, this conversation about mothers reminds me of it, because I think in Tibetan culture anyway, mothers breastfeed their babies a long time.
Yes.
And in the West, sometimes babies aren't breastfed at all.
Right.
And parents sleep with their children in Tibet, and we don't have family bed in the United States very much. These things I think make a big difference, and we don't even, it's maybe what we mean by culture. There's all these factors we don't really identify. We just know altogether there's a difference.
Yeah, I think that's really helps, like kind of like mentality. So you're talking about this trauma issues, like grow up, like kind of not having that kind of. So mothers live with the kids together, and always like give it the milk, like how to say this, breast thing, or so that kind of, I think maybe helps. Yeah, could be. Yes, I think so. That's all more just usually nature, nature human beings does. So now it's like become technologies and the environment change, so that we don't use like same is like kind of like naturally raising people.
And the Dharma, to grow up with the Dharma is your culture, to hear about karma and samsara from the beginning, I think
Yes.
is very helpful, versus the way we think in the West. We think we take a lot of responsibility for everything upon ourselves. So if something bad happens, we think there's something wrong with us, and I don't know, I think psychologically there's a lot in all of these topics to talk about.
Yeah, I think so. That's a helps. See, is we think about this today, law of meditation, that really help for our mind. So when you use that kind of meditate, release our fears too. So release this our kind of sometimes holding something, our heart, mind, and like unpleasant, like sad. You have emotions, like you have not really positive feelings, unhappy. So when you meditate, this law of meditations really remove that. Recognize, and then also kind of like mind is get more courage, and so help for lots. So even you really don't do the actions, anything, but you just think about this meditation, cultivate, really help for our mind. So that helps, like just like you talking about the say logical, or yeah. So that for had that. So here is like, I don't know, the people going to see somebody, they talk about their problems. The what do they call the psychological?
A psychologist.
Or psychologist. Actually, psychologists And here is like drugs is not really, I think it's a benefit much people because they just like little bit release the fears. Just you share these things, you know, so people need to somebody to share these things for someone, and then they feel better after that. So then they're also telling some things like just walk for her to walk, change a little bit things, you know, but not really remove the cause, anything. And today this meditation is really, really, you know, for the what is it called, psychological. So that kind of, you know, like in the course practice, remove like kind of whole problems from our mind.
A lot of the more advanced psychology
Psychology, yeah.
now are based on Buddhist meditation practices. There's actually a kind of therapy that was developed by a Zen master for people
I see.
who are very suicidal and proven very effective, but it's using practices and Buddhist psychology. It's
I see.
interesting.
Yeah, so that's great. See, so the psychology, I don't know how to say correctly. So that must be someone meditator, must be someone who practice like this kind of love meditator, compassion meditator, you know, and then that can really help for them, I think. So if there's someone don't know how to this meditate anything about this, so you go to learn in the school or something. So I don't think so. They really help for that way much. They can't give it someone. Yeah. You think so or no? I think so that way. My fear is like that way.
I think you need to be a meditator, and I think that's why this type of therapy, the therapists have to be meditators. And the woman that developed it, she actually felt like suicide, and so she started becoming a practitioner, a Zen tradition, and that is why she developed the program, because it worked for her. It's interesting.
Yeah.
But I think you really have to have meditation.
Yeah, psychological means like have to help for somebody's mind problem. So if you have a physical problem, so you have to see the doctor, and you have a mind problem, someone you have to see like who can meditate, you know. So you have to see the meditators because of mind problem, right? So someone don't know how to meditate, they don't know how to work their own mind, but then they're sometimes giving for suggestions to others. So I don't know how to work for that.
No, you have to. That's the one thing that helped me more than anything was meditation instruction.
Yeah, it's really helpful meditation, like instruction, like different meditations, you know. That's all is for use for the psychological, or so people has different kind of issues and problems, like mind, their problem, different kind of suffering problems. So then we think about the 4 thoughts meditations. All these 4 of these works different, you know, aspects. And lots of like one is like headache medicine, one is like, you know, stomach medicine, like kind of like that, you know, like 4 thoughts meditation goes a little bit different aspects, release our suffering. And then of course going up to in this love meditation is more strong than that. So change our whole perception is a change. Love meditation, compassion meditations.
In my in my experience, it's important for a psychologist to be able to develop compassion. I think if you don't have compassion, you're not a very effective psychologist or psychiatrist. Carl Rogers is a great example, I think, of pure compassion with his technique. And Gestalt, and most of them drive to, or many of them drive to get to the root cause of a person's problem. You know, just sitting and listening and relieving a little bit of stress is not very helpful at all. But many of them do try to get to the root cause. Go ahead.
I
Someone has
also have Temple. I also have something I think because recently I have a friend. I meditate, so sometimes some people come to help, ask me to help, and a friend of mine. I actually don't know her that well, so I can say an acquaintance of mine, and asked me for help. But you know what? She told me she drinks herself drunk every day. And so I feel that the basic thing for me as a meditator, if you drink, you already detour your mind. And anything I told you is not going to work for anyone. So I felt that the basic, like the 5 pieces, in the Western world, people don't think that's important. A lot of people don't think. They just thought about meditation and all those new age things. And if they don't keep their basic 5 pieces, I don't know how can they find happiness. I really don't know. Yeah, I will mute myself again.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, this is a psychological or psychologist. What is the God? The person must have to have a compassion. Yeah, of course, that's the key. So the person who has long as compassion, then they can, you know, other people, so who has problems, they can really talk with them. They can share something for them, right? And without compassion, they really cannot share much, and they really cannot help. So other people who receiving instructions from psychologists, because they also fear that the person really care or not. Yeah. So then, yeah, so some people say that if some always drunks, so then you cannot really give any suggestions to them because the mind is already, so first is our mind is deluded, second more deluded, so then harder to they receive. Yeah. Then anyone has a question? How about Mary? You have a question? No.
Going back to the mother question, I wonder if people are confusing love with like, because they're two different things. You can still have love for someone but not like them, right?
So you love them, you don't like them, you mean?
Yes, yes.
So that's like lots of like kind of in the siblings and the relatives has like the issues.
Yeah.
They love but don't like. Yeah, they don't want to be with it that much. If there's a problem, of course they have to willing to help them to do something. But generally they don't want to be with their people. So that's we have lots like that. And so this love meditation like is you know so think about that way. You know, who has a question before when we all measure, you say like some people doesn't like their mother, they don't like mother, maybe they love mother, they don't like them, you know, because the mother has like kind of a, you know, some issues and they don't want to be with them, don't want to talk, and they don't like, but then they could be have some difficulties mother and they really can help something, they're willing to do that. So that kind of lots of situations, I think. So people, me, I don't love my mother means actually they don't like that, but love is actually there. So, so that's why I say, if mother, even we doesn't like, but we love, but other people maybe we don't like means we don't love. So that's why I see mother is like bring in the first like example the meditation object of the love first. So why we didn't say other people, you know, we sometimes we really like other people, but we really don't love means like, you know, we like that person, but that person has something going on wrong, something difficulties. We don't, most people don't think about, oh, I have to willing to do anything to help for that. So see, the mother and the kind of other people we like is different situations. So that's why we recognize like everyone love mother, but some doesn't like them own mother, you know. So that's why we have to use meditation is object mother is more suitable for everyone. So that's like Mary, you're thinking, right? Maryline, I mean.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Same with like, let's say a marriage splits up. You don't like the person, but you can't eliminate that feeling of love that you had in your heart for them at one time. Same with your mother. It's not going to go away, I don't think. It's just covered up with dislike.
So you mean the whole to try to not only just love, but you try to like that person, you mean?
No, I mean, you have to be aware that you don't like them, but you still care that they don't suffer, that you still love
Yes,
them, but you just can't, maybe you just can't even be around them because they make
yes,
you have negative emotions.
yes,
You still can care and wish them well and love
yes,
them. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's a lot in the right now is like kids and the parents, you know, situations like that. Lots have that kind of issue. So yeah, that means like not really not love mother, but love the parents, but doesn't want to be with them. So not really like it, stay together, not really like go together, not really like to eat together, not really like to talk with them. Yeah. So but that means like you love them. That not like not you not love them. You know that shows. Okay. ADG is yours mute.
Okay, we were talking. I have trouble with my mother also. My mother's already passed. I ran away from home 13 times. My brother ran away from home many times. My sister ran away from home many times. My mother was mean. And when I was when I was 17 or so, she said she never wanted me. Okay, so me and my brother, even in our advanced age, we talked about it, you know, and said, yeah, we were not happy at home. So we had each other. So I'm still working. So today was kind of helpful with, you know, saying, okay, well, my mother did at least bring birth to me, and I survived this as a child, even though it was kind of tough.
Yes.
And so I'm working with the good things and trying to forgive the bad things. Okay. What's interesting is I can look at some of my enemies in the past, and I can love my enemies, but I can't love my mother yet. So I'm working with it.
Okay,
Okay.
that's good. Your experience, yeah.
Ed, I think that's part of the all-pervasive suffering. I had to use that category because if there's all-pervasive suffering, your mother was suffering very deeply and very much, and so she was unable to care for you the way that she needed to. So I think as long as you remember all pervasive suffering, it's not so personal, but I know it feels personal.
No, that's a good observation. I appreciate that. No problem. Yeah.
Yes.
See, I'm working at it.
Yeah. So that's great. See, it is like we Dharma practitioners means like then that change, like looking different ways. So mother and parents, anyone like really mean, really not nice to the person. They meditate, they recognize like really compassion to the parents, practitioners, because they recognize that my mother is like so much emotion, so much difficulty in her life. So that's the reason even she love her kids, but she really cannot take care, So due to her issues, suffering, so recognize that way comes really compassion to the mother. And usually people think it's like a little bit wrong way. Oh, my mother is not nice to me. I don't like my mother. Oh, my mother so terrible did for me. I don't love. So that is like usually many people think that is a little bit wrong thinking way. And Dharma, practitioners think like mother has more difficulties, the more compassion to them, because recognize the mother has so much suffering, difficulties. They even love their own kids, or mother love, but mother has so much difficulty, suffering for her that she cannot take care of her own kids. So due to her suffering, we recognize that mother so much suffering. So then really comes compassion to mother. So that's like coming tomorrow, we meditate compassion. This love meditation, compassion meditation goes like together. It's then really recognizes. Yeah.
I have a question.
I have a question, Campbell.
Yes.
Why? Because Buddhism always say that we don't do something like a vexation. Why one person become a mother, then she become great and she become really nice and she have to be this and that. There's all kind of people, good and bad, and all kind of karma, good and bad. And I feel that a person who become a mother doesn't grant her sinful. So a person is a mother always. I agree a lot of mothers struggle a lot, and I never have a good mother. She just take off when I was a baby. So I just try to understand our relationship. I try to understand what's went wrong. And then I finally to accept that she's just a human being and she all had her fault and everything. Why? I even think that because she's a mother, she's supposed to love me. She didn't. And she didn't have any love to many of her children. Maybe the later her life, she had 2 new babies. She loved them, but not all the earlier children. So I don't understand as Buddhism. Buddhism always say that people are very not fixated, not change. Everyone is impermanent. Everyone is like really folding. So why when someone become a mother, they have to be nice? I don't understand because a lot of mother is not nice. And in the Western world, we saw a lot of not really good mother. And I see as a lot of mother is not mature enough to be mother. So when they are not mature enough, they hurt themselves and hurt their children. And to me, I feel that I don't understand why Buddhism think that we have to think about love for their mother, because we didn't have, most of us didn't have that great love to our mother because our mother didn't love us.
Okay, so that's just depending how you think, you know. So we think the worldly ways, or we think about the spiritual Dharma way, and then just you know, understanding. So right now we're sharing the Dharma, and we recognize the mother really don't taking care of kids, means like mother has ignorance, and also emotion difficulty going on. So we practice Dharma, we recognize that. That's why Buddhists recognize. Other who practice so Buddhist means like we recognize what mother's problem. So even that's why, you know, we recognize mother's problem, then we come to compassion to them. So we know pondering their problem, that we recognize their suffering. Okay, so another someone has a question, right? Who is that?
I do. I have a question.
Yes.
It's a little bit different topic. Is it Chenrezig? They say that Adam. Okay, so in Vajrakalaya, they say that in 10 directions, all of the little bodhisattvas, the little Buddhists, it's like they fly out. When you do the visualization, then from all these channels in the body, things activate, and 10,000 Buddhists fly out in 10 directions, or so many things to infinity. So then I think it was Chenrezig. It was Chenrezig. And they talk about the atom, that at the atom is a Buddha, inside every single atom is a Buddha, and that the wave and the ocean, like every little single molecule is a Buddha, so everything is a wave of Buddha, bodhicitta. But can it, like if you mentally connect with this, and then you start to visualize, and then you start to become, you know, one with this field of Buddha, the Pure Land, can it get out of control? Like, do you understand?
Yeah,
Is
kind
there
of.
like mind control? Yeah.
Okay, so what I think is that kind of like, you know, people does meditate, so they also has different levels. So the level is like someone who has a pure perception. When you recognize everything is pure, you know, then arises the pure perception, then they has the ability to do lots that kind of meditations. But first beginner people, we have like impure perceptions. So that kind of meditation is like not really, you know, kind of easy to do when we have impure perceptions.
So what would cause it to go wrong? Can something cause it to go wrong?
I really don't know going wrong or not. So that's, I don't have any experience that kind. You know, I really don't know. I cannot say it's good or bad or wrong. So first, like I want to like do like try to like first create like this universe is visualize Buddha Amitabha purely. So try to get impure perceptions transformed to the pure, and then just like look to the pictures, the tankas, and like visualize Buddha Amitabha, like then recognize, oh, it's there, every being's like same is Buddha, like seeing all inner beings Buddha. So that helps me, you know, lots, because like author, this universe is like transformed to the pure, you know, we create a pure perception, and then inner beings visualize the Buddha. So this go to more details, like, you know, subtle levels, I don't know. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. So then,
Thank you.
so no anyone has a question?
I thought I could offer something from the Western perspective on mother issues. Kempo and everyone else, something that helps me is you have a hard time feeling love for your mother, or you know she was mean or something like that. It's something that helps me have compassion for her is that her mother was probably just like acted the same way towards her, and so that helps me kind of see the bigger picture and how you know trauma and things and dysfunction is passed down through the generations, and I think that's what one of the positives of Western psychotherapy is that it really explains sort of how trauma works in samsara and just our samsara situation. Mm-hmm. And thank you again, Kempo, for my reference letter.
You're welcome.
It was a spiritual reference for me to get into a master's program in this and in Buddhist psychotherapy. So really.
So you are going to be Buddhist what you call sacred therapy, right? Therapy.
Psychotherapy. Yeah.
Psychotherapy. So it's great. You have these teachings, so now you know
Yeah.
what to do.
For sure.
Yeah.
Because yeah,
So
I mean, I think these teachings reign supreme. I mean, a problem with Western psychotherapy is that you can really understand your mind and you think about your problems so much, but it creates a lot more self-grasping. Yeah. So they really complement each other, I think.
Okay, so that's good. Then we're going to meditate. Now we're going to meditate. Okay, so meditation is love meditation. Love meditation. So we have to, you know, wishing all sentient beings have happiness. So that is a love, or we wishing everyone has happiness. That wishing is called love meditation. So know how to growing that our mind. So we visualize. Here it's talk about the mother visualize. You know, we 99% people is okay to meditate mother. So someone has difficulties with mother visualize. So then they can visualize the loved ones who's the close to your life, which is like more love to your life. You can be father, or you can be siblings, you can be wife or husband, kids, anyone. So that person you bring in your mind, and then so wishing that person has happiness, recognize their kindness for us. So have to think about the kindness, or this cultivate. Then, you know, so we wishing they have happiness. So then we also think about, and so move to like others, like, okay, so I have reborn not only one time. Is even this mother maybe you doesn't like you, so you think, oh, previous mother is take care of me. You know, you can think about the previous mother. We always reborn many lifetimes. The all mothers not like you means like that's not correct, right? Or one mother maybe doesn't like it, so previous is really like you. So like think that way, you know. And then we have the kindness meditate. They're all mothers. Like we wish they all beings have happiness. And this mother is not only one life, this mother. So previous life. Then we have a countless mother sentient beings. So then recognize all sentient beings used to our mother. So that's why first we have to meditate, bring our mother in front, visualize, thinking about all the kindness. So meditate, like think about it, like first when we like into the mother's womb to enter rebirth, like 9 months. So mother sacrificed all this 9 months, hardship and the difficulties. That's all taking care for us, the love us. More meditate when the birth to under think about all the way childhood meditate like we are reborn many lifetimes. Same is this present mother, other or previous mother, also taking care of us. So everyone is used to our parents, mother. We wishing the mother brings us happiness, for happiness. Om mani padme hum. 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 Oh, what we chant here is Kingdom Zambo prayer. Do you have that book, or we can share in the screen?
I have it, Kempo, from that Latsawa house.
Yeah. So that one, yeah, Lotsawa house. We're going to use that one.
Okay, I'll open up screen sharing, Artie.
Okay, opening up. That's great.
Oh, I have it on two different things. Sorry, not technologically advanced over here.
Does the little blue book work?
Can you email it to me, Artie?
Yes, right now.
Okay.
Lotsawa house.
So while we're waiting, I just wanted to make a pitch for this movie called Tashi and the Monk, for anyone who might not have seen it. It's about,
It's really great, yeah.
yeah, maybe you've all seen it, but it really deals with abandonment and, you know, mother issues and feeling unwanted. And then this beautiful healing really of this monk. He ends up giving up being a monk, and he runs a home and school for like 85 children that are also unwanted and abandoned. It's just beautiful.
Mm.
Can you say again that one? Say it.
It's called Tashi and the Monk. And if you Google it, I think it's on Netflix, I mean, on Amazon, you'll find it right away.
Mm. So what he did?
He left being a monk. He was a Tibetan monk, and he started a school home for other unwanted children. And the movie focuses on this one girl who's having adjustment issues. She's very angry, and how he uses, you know, the Dharma and love, and how she slowly comes around. It's really amazing. I mean, it's a true story. It's a documentary. It's not fiction.
Looks like you can watch it on Vimeo for free.
Marilyn, I think that Elvira said that she has it, and since you have screen share open up, she can go ahead and share it if you would like her to do that.
Yeah, I just did that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now we're going to chant English, right?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, Abura, you have this vision, right? Abura, can you hear? So maybe Abura, who's sharing the screen?
Vera is sharing it.
Okay, Abura, so you chant the English, please go together. You lead the English.
Okay, hold on, I'm setting up. Okay, prayer of Kuntu Sampo. Oh, all that appears and exists, samsara and nirvana, has one ground, two paths, and two forms of fruition. the magical displays of awareness and unawareness. Through this, Samantha Bhadra's prayer of aspiration, may all attain complete and perfect awakening within the palace of Dharmadhatu, the absolute sphere. The basis of everything is uncompounded, a self-originated extent, vast and inexpressible, beyond the names samsara and nirvana. This itself, when seen, is awakening. But in their ignorance, beings wander in samsara. May all sentient beings throughout the three realms realize the meaning of the ineffable ground.
Okay, I would like you the one screen, you know, when you move, like when you finish one page and then move up. So otherwise we.
I will try. The thing is, this is not a presentation. It's a whole thing, so I have to scroll up and down. But I'll try to move it the less possible. But it's not a presentation, so it's not easy to change from one page to the next. But I'll try.
When you sit, how much you can sit in your screen, so read the whole thing and then move up.
Okay. I, Samantha, know the ground's reality, which is without cause or condition. It originates by itself within this very ground. It's unspoiled by perspective, supposition, or denial, and unobstructed by the darkness of unmindful delusion. That which is self-manifest is thus without fault. When abiding in genuine intrinsic awareness, there is no fear, even at the triple word demise. Nor is there attachment to the five sensory delights. In self-originating awareness, free of concept, there is neither solid form nor the five poisons. The unobstructed clarity of awareness is one in essence and fivefold in wisdom. Through the ripening of the five wisdoms, the five original Buddha families arise. And through wisdom's further expansion, the 42 peaceful Buddhas emerge. With the upsurge of fivefold wisdom power, the 60 blood-drinking Herukas appear. Thus, ground awareness has never known delusion. I am the primordial Buddha, and therefore, through this my prayer of aspiration, may beings of samsara realms recognize self-originating awareness, so that vast wisdom may be perfected. Continuously, my emanations will appear in their many billions beyond imagining, manifest in various ways according to need. Through these, my compassionate aspiration, may all the beings of samsara's three realms escape their flight among the six classes. From the very first, since awareness does not dawn, excuse me, Kempo, I think this version is different than the one we read last time, right?
I think it's the same.
It's the same? Okay. From the very first, since awareness does not dawn, for the deluded beings within the ground, they are entirely mindless and confused. This itself is unawareness, delusion's cause. And then, as if out of a sudden daze, there is anxiety and mental disquiet, from which notions of self and other and enmity appear. As this habitual tendency is then reinforced, samsara unfolds in its regular progression. Thus, mind's afflictions, the five poisons develop, and actions born of these five poisons never end. Therefore, since the basis for being's delusion is a lack of mindfulness and absence of awareness, through these, my aspiration as a Buddha, may all beings recognize their own awareness. The unawareness that is co-emergent, it is a state of mindlessness, distraction. The unawareness that designates is dualistic clinging to self and others. These two, co-emergent and designated unawareness, provide the basis for the delusion of all beings. Now, through these, my aspiration as a Buddha, may the dark and murky gloom of mindlessness among all sentient beings in samsara be dispelled. May their dualistic perceptions be purified, and may they recognize their very own awareness. A mind of dualistic clinging is one of doubt. From social attachment, once it has arisen, habitual tendencies gradually gain strength. Food, wealth, clothing, home, and companions, the pleasures of the five senses, or dear relations, whatever is attractive brings the torment of desire. These are the delusions of the world. Actions based on dualistic clinging are unending. When the fruits of attachment come to ripen, they bring birth as a presa tormented by desire. How wretched are the pains of hunger and thirst. Now, through these, my aspiration as a Buddha may be beset by craving and attachment, neither cast aside the torment of desire, nor pursue the craving of attachment. But by allowing the mind to relax just as it is, may they capture the natural state of awareness and gain the wisdom of perfect discernment. Through the subtle experience of anxiety and fear towards the appearance of external objects, habitual tendencies of aversion are reinforced, opening the way to enmity, injury, and slaughter. When the fruits of aggression come to ripen, how harrowing will be the boilings and burnings of hell. Now, through these, my aspiration as a Buddha, may all the sentient beings of the sixth realm, whenever they are beset by intense aggression, neither reject nor indulge it, but relapse therein, capture the natural state of their own awareness, and gain the wisdom of lucid clarity. When the mind grows conceited, it brings thoughts of rivalry and disdain, and the arising of its intense pride leads to the suffering of quarrels and disputes. When the fruits of such karma come to ripen, they bring birth as a deva subject to passage and fall. Now, through these, my aspiration as a Buddha, may all sentient beings in whom conceit is born relax their minds there and then, capture the natural state of their own awareness, and realize the true meaning of equality. Habitual tendencies of intense dualistic clinging bring about the pain of self-flattery and contempt. And by inflaming conflict, dispute, and competition, lead to birth in the Asura realm of slaughter and mutilation, which in turn results in descent to the domains of hell. Now, through these, my aspiration as a Buddha, may those in whom rivalry and antagonism take root not regard them as enemies, but relax there and then, capture the natural state of their own awareness, and gain the wisdom of unimpeded activity. Mindlessness, indifference, distraction, dullness, drowsiness, oblivion, insensibility, laziness, and stupidity result in helpless animal wandering. Now, through these, my aspiration as a Buddha, may the light of clear cognizance arise in those plunged into stupidity's gloom, and may they gain wisdom free of thought. All sentient beings throughout the three realms are equal to me, the Buddha, in the ground of all. Yet, for them, it is but a vase of mindless delusion. And now they engage in meaningless pursuits, with sexual karma as is deceived by a dream. Yet, I am the primordial Buddha, guide to the six classes through my emanations. Through this, Samantabhadra's prayer of aspiration, may all sentient beings without exception awaken within the Dharma Dhatu, the absolute sphere. Aho, Henceforth, whenever a powerful yogi with naturally clear, undiluted awareness recites this powerful aspiration, all sentient beings who hear it will awaken within the course of 3 lives. When Rahu seizes the sun or moon, whenever the earth rumbles or quakes, at the solstices or close of the year, visualize yourself as Samantabhadra and chant it aloud so that all may hear. Then all the beings of the 3 realms will, through the yogi's prayer of aspiration, gradually be freed from their suffering and ultimately awaken as a Buddha.
Thank you. Thank you, Abra. Your
Welcome.
effort. That's a very long.
I don't know. I like it much.
You did a good job. Okay, so then we see you tomorrow, yeah? Thank you, everyone. Good evening. So
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you,
meditate,
Khenpo.
meditate,
Thank you,
love
Khenpo.
your mother. Think about all beings with the mother.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, then see you tomorrow.
Okay.
Yes.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.